Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Christopher Aaron. This is the iGold Advisor channel, and silver has just hit a few cents below $100 per ounce, specifically in the overnight hours leading into January 23rd. Silver hit $99.22. So we are within a hair of $100. And we're going to talk about what is next for silver, what is next for the precious metals. This has been an outstanding run. Some might say that this is a once-in-a-lifetime run that is going on right now. We're going to look at what is coming next for silver in this video. It is January 23rd, 2026. I want to let you know that this weekend coming up, in fact, this Monday, I'm going to be speaking live twice. They've just added a second session at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. That's in Vancouver, British Columbia. I'll be speaking this Monday at 1:40 p.m. in the afternoon. The title of that is The Fourth Turning for Gold and How High for Silver. I'll be giving a preview of how high for silver right here, right now. And then at 2:20, just 40 minutes later, I'll be speaking at Workshop 4. This is a fireside chat with Adam Barata, and this will be a group discussion on the precious metals. So if you're going to be in Vancouver, remember the conference is free to attend. There are going to be tens of thousands of people there. This is one of the largest conferences in North America on precious metals and the mining side of the industry. So if you're going to be there, make sure to attend my talks. Come by and say hi. I would love to say hi to you. It's wonderful to get to know people at these conferences. So I look forward to that. Let's get into what's happening here with silver. If you have 1 second to give this video a thumbs up, I really appreciate it. It does help the algorithms here on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe as well. Follow us on X at iGlobalGold for free updates throughout the week. Let us look at silver here. This is the view from what? From the big breakout right here, the last week in November of last year, that is just 2 months ago, the big break above what? $50 per ounce right here. And before we get into the forecast, we just have to take a step back here and acknowledge the fact that silver has risen by twofold. Silver has doubled in 2 months. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for many investors. The last time that a move like this has happened was late 1978 into 1979. So there are a few investors who participated back then, nearly 50 years ago. But for the majority of us, this is literally a once-in-a-lifetime move, and I don't think it's over. So let's talk about what is going to be coming here. We're looking at the short-term perspective, as long as you can remember that the big move for silver was when it broke above 50. That was the former 1980 and 2011 peak. So it broke above that. It's doubled in 2 months. Now let's look at this is a new all-time high. As I said, $99.22 hit just a few moments before I published this chart. New all-time high. Let's talk about what is coming here. When we go back from the start of the breakout here above 50 in late November, we can see what? A very, very clear, very well-defined, look at this. Look at the number of hits on this trend here. I mean, we're talking 7 or 8 hits on this lower trend. So it's very clear to see where the buyers are stepping in every several weeks, right? We can see that. I mean, we can talk about all the reasons why the buyers are stepping in. Gold is expensive for a lot of people, so a lot of people are looking at silver as a better bargain. Of course, we have the industrial demand for silver still sopping up 80% of the demand every year. So there's not that much physical silver left for people to buy. We have China. We have some of the Asian countries that are starting to look at silver as a better bargain, right? But for whatever the reasons, all of the reasons, we can see where those buyers are showing up now. We can see them. We can literally see their footprints here coming in every several weeks. This is what we do with price analysis. We look at where the buyers are stepping in, and then what? We can see, isn't this incredible? We can see where the sellers are showing up. And isn't it incredible that they're basically showing up on a parallel channel to the buyers here from the last couple months? So there is a very clearly defined pattern that silver has been following now for the last 2 months, is doubling since it broke above 50. And the really interesting thing, there's also a little mini short-term rising channel in there. We can see that. So if I was to define the present boundaries of the pattern that silver is in, it's this sort of, gently sloping rising channel. I mean, in the big picture of things, this is not a gentle slope. Doubling in 2 months is not gentle. But when we zoom it in here to the short run, it's a rather modest sloping channel that we see here for silver. So that's healthy to see. Now, with silver getting to 99.22, let's call it 100. I mean, just a hair below 100. My bias, my best case scenario, my highest probability scenario, I should say, would be that silver is going to back off here from 99, 100, the most recent resistance, but stay within the boundary of the presently defined rising channel. We can very clearly see that silver has taken on this new rising channel, right? And so then we'd be talking about breaking above 100 when we get into early February, and we would keep going higher from there. That's the way that the market looks presently. I do want to say, though, however, silver is acting more bullish when my premium subscribers and my individual clients ask me about my take on silver right now. What I'm telling them is that in the last 2 months here that silver has doubled, it is acting more bullish than any of our statistical models going back for the last 45 years. When we compare how copper performed when it broke out of its 1980 peak, when we compare how oil performed when it broke out from its 1980 peak, when we compare how platinum performed when it broke out from its 1980 peak, palladium, gold, natural gas, all of them, when we compare how all the commodities performed after they broke out of their 1980 peaks, silver is behaving more bullish than any of the other models that we have available to us. And because of that, even though I'm going to stick with the visible boundaries here for price behavior until the market shows us otherwise, I would tell you that there is a reasonable chance here that within the coming 1 to 2 days, perhaps early next week, that silver is actually going to break above 100. I think there are a lot of people suspecting that that around 100, silver is going to back off significantly. And this market is behaving more bullishly than any of the statistical models that we have available for any other commodity. So it might be getting ready to fool the majority here and break upward from this visible resistance at 9,900 and then consolidate on the upward side of this pattern in that type of fashion, let's say for another 2 to 3 weeks, before what? Actually, as difficult as this is to believe, actually aggressively rising higher at that point. Not staying in the more shallow rising channel, but actually more aggressively rising than even it has been here over the last 2 months. And that is going to lead us to our next set of targets, which I'll discuss in the future, which are going to include 150 and quite likely significantly higher than that. So I see a lot of investors right now who are, there were a lot of investors at 65, 75, 85, saying that's it, silver is going vertical, it's too much, it's too far, and they sold. And now silver is up here at 100. And what I'm telling investors is that even if you sold too early, this market is likely going several orders of magnitude higher over the coming handful of years. We're talking 2 to 5 years. And so it is not too late to get back into this market, whether you're talking about physical silver or whether you're talking about the silver mining companies. And there are some of the silver mining companies that I know of that are still trading as if silver was $20 or $25 per ounce because the market is overlooking them. And those are the mining companies that we are investing in now. So even if you sold too early, I think this market is set to go several orders of magnitude higher still over the coming handful of years. And that is what I'm preparing my clients for right now. So I hope we will get the opportunity to meet in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, coming up this weekend, this Monday. It will be great to see you. If you cannot make the conference and you'd like to follow along with all the trades and all the investments that we are making here, all the mining companies, all the open market, silver, platinum, palladium, gold, options trades, everything, the service for you is called Precious Metals Intelligence Plus. So I hope you will consider joining us. If I'm right about how this is going to play out, many of my subscribers will be retiring and never have to work again a day in their lives 3 years from now. If you are a higher net worth investor, you have to understand the power of private placements. In these private placements, we receive free warrants with every single investment that we are making, and that gets us nearly twice as much upside compared to buying mining companies in the open market like we do in Precious Metals Intelligence Plus. You will still make a killing by buying the mining companies in the open market, but you're going to be making nearly twice as much if you participate with us in the private placements. And remember, you will receive a free subscription to Precious Metals Intelligence Plus if you join us in the Elite Private Placement service. If you would like to sit down with myself, Christopher Aaron, one-on-one and discuss your situation, your holdings in physical silver, your holdings in gold, your holdings in platinum or palladium, your mining companies, the companies that you're thinking about investing in, all of the above. Remember, I am 100% independent. I do not take any fees or any kickbacks whatsoever, not a single penny from any of the companies that I talk about, any of the companies that I refer clients to. I am 100% dedicated to assisting individual investors because that's how I approach this market. I myself am an investor in this sector. I've learned how to navigate this sector, the ups and the downs, the ins and the outs, how to not get taken advantage of, how to double your upside on certain investments. And so I approach this from this independent standpoint of looking out for individuals in the best manner that I'm capable of. So I hope you will join us one way or another. I hope to meet you in Vancouver, British Columbia. Join us. This is a once-in-a-lifetime move for most investors that is happening in silver. And we haven't even talked about gold in this update, but it's happening for all the precious metals. Do not miss this.